Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Candace Owens is banned from entering into Australia. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that today because I think that it's not a good decision on behalf of Albanese and his government, but there's a lot of things that I disagree with both Albanese and Candace Owens on, but nevertheless, I don't think she should be banned from entering into our country because after all, she's not really a threat at all to our country. If she wants to come here and her supporters in Australia want to go and hear us speak, so be it. We have or we're supposed to have a free democratic society, are we not? But no, according to Albanese, freedom of speech is severely limited, especially when you've got the likes of Candace Owens in the mix that has said some highly controversial things, right? So anyway, the mainstream media has been doing what they do best. Let's just say that by this particular piece of information. Look at this. The Australian. Candace Owens is a bigot, but banning her will only backfire. So, yeah, let's throw out the bigot statement and then we'll go in for a soft touch at the end. You know, like banning her will only backfire. She's a bigot. Let's make that perfectly clear. But you know what? It's bad to ban a bigot entering into the country. Oh dear, what are we going to do with a bigot like Candace Owens? That the horror. You know, I looked up the definition of bigot, and in case you guys weren't aware of what it means to be a bigot, essentially it's the fact of having and expressing strong, unreasonable beliefs and disliking other people who have different beliefs or a different way of life. So it could be religious or racial bigotry, right? By this definition, which is a fairly easy definition, that means that everybody, doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, this includes Albanese, by the way, he's a bigot because he's got unreasonable, strong beliefs that don't want to change. But oh no, Albanese can't be a bigot because Albanese is the one that controls the narrative. Same with the mainstream media, right? But if it's Candace Owens, she's a hateful bigot. We're going to throw that into the mix. She doesn't like the God's chosen people narrative, let's say. She's got some crazy viewpoints around that. So we're not going to let her into the country because it could be seen as quite divisive. Are you mental, Albanese? Like, well, we already know that you are, but seriously, it's not a good idea to be banning people like Candace Owens that, like, honestly, they're not going to cause you any harm. Like, she's an American, for goodness sake. Sure, she's got some wild out there viewpoints about God's chosen people and that, but that's about it. Like, I've been highly critical of her in the past, but seriously, it doesn't mean that you go banning her from entering into Australia. Like, if she's got a visa and she's got a good track record, aside from her said facts about God's chosen people and denial of certain things and whatever else, it doesn't go, oh, you're a danger to this country. We're not going to allow you in. But that's what Albanese's doing. I think it's wrong. So let's have a look at this story, shall we? Australia rejects visa application by right-wing US pundit Candace Owens. Now, here's a couple of more news articles for you all, headlines from our left-leaning news media. The Independent. Doesn't seem very independent to me. Right-wing extremist. Candace Owens is blocked from entering Australia. Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the ABC, taxpayer funded, by the way, here in Australia. Conservative US commentator Candace Owens refused entry to Australia. Now, that's a little bit softer than the Independent. The Independent went straight for the right-wing extreme. But the ABC was a little bit kinder conservative. Here we go, the Sydney Morning Herald. Extremist influencer. Oh, dear. The extremist bigot Candace Owens can't enter into Australia Visa's been cancelled. Um, Immigration Minister Tony Burke says Owens has the capacity to incite disorder or discord in almost every direction ahead of planned November speaking tour. Oh dear, we can't have Candace Owens. So a little bit of discourse amongst the Australian population because that's going to cause upset and upheaval in politics. Oh dear, what are we going to do? Grow the hell up, man. Honestly, she's not a T word. She's not any of that. She's just got some crazy views about certain things. Honestly, you've got people already in the country that are actually sympathizers with the T word organizations. But yeah, sure, we'll let them in. Their visa's approved. We'll bring people over from Gaza, for goodness sake. Let's do that, but we won't bring over Candace Owens. Ah, Australia has rejected far right provocateur. I love these words, you know, far right extremists, provocateur, Candace Owens, visa application ahead of a planned national speaking tour with the immigration minister, Tony Burke, saying she had the capacity to incite discord. Yeah. And so on that, we're going to cancel her visa. We're not going to allow her in. It's dangerous, man. But yet, let's let in as many people from overseas as we possibly can that could have sympathies with T-word organizations. Yeah, we don't care about that. The US conservative influencer and podcast host who has advanced conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic rhetoric, including minimizing Nazi medical experiments in concentration camps, which I've been rather critical about, you guys know, will be blocked from coming to Australia after the federal government voiced alarm about her record. Yeah, the federal government, ladies and gentlemen, my federal government, I didn't vote for them, but I'm stuck with them, unfortunately. The federal government is going, her conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic rhetoric is going to sow a great deal of discourse in the country of Australia, so we're not going to let her in. The federal government got involved, people. Let that sink in. The federal government, not the local government, not like New South Wales or Queensland or whatever else. No, no, no. This is the federal government getting involved with a person entering into the country. Wow. From downplaying the impact of the Holocaust with comments about notorious Nazi Dr. Joseph Mengele through to the claims that Muslims started slavery, Candace Owens has the capacity to incite discourse in almost every direction, Burke said on Sunday. Like, you can't have freedom of speech anymore. You can't say certain things in this country because you don't know what people are going to do. But yeah, we're going to allow chance of vile remarks and waving a certain T-word organization flag in the streets. Yeah, it's totally fine. But someone that's got radical ideas and all that sort of stuff, conspiracy theories and her own belief system, nah, can't let her in. Australia's national interest is best served when Candace Owens is somewhere else. That's an actual statement. The politicians think they're speaking for all Australians, and really they're only speaking for themselves. They're not speaking for all Australians. I don't care if Candace comes here or not. I really don't. I don't think she's a threat at all. But the Australian government, the federal government, seem to think so. She's a threat. She's going to incite discourse, people. We can't have that. Owens had scheduled a 5-date speaking tour of Australia in November with events in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. Tickets range from $95 for general admission to $295 for a VIP meet and greet and $1,500 for a private dinner with a conservative media personality. That's not too bad. She has courted controversy with incendiary claims about Jewish, transgender, and Muslim people. Oh dear. The three horsemen of the apocalypse or something. We got the Jewish, transgender, and Muslim people. We can't have negative viewpoints on any of those people. We can't say anything bad about them. Oh dear. We can't be critical. Oh no. Oh boy. In July, she appeared to cast doubt on well documented Nazi medical experiments in prisoners, calling such accounts completely absurd and bizarre propaganda, which again, I made a video about. And I've also made a video about her, how she's like seen me gone down the drain a little bit. But that doesn't mean I don't want her to enter into Australia. Far out. The US Anti Defamation League, oh boy, here we go, which works to combat anti Semitism, has accused Owens of coming to embrace and promote anti Semitic tropes and anti Israel rhetoric. Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but if you haven't looked around the country at the moment, it's already here and it's quite rife, and the government's not doing anything about it. So if you want to go after anyone, go after your damn government and criticize the government for not actually stopping the anti Semitic rhetoric, but in fact, inciting it more and more. Noting comments where she called Judaism a, you know what, centric religion, LGBT whatever plus advocacy organization GLAD. Sure, we love to hear from GLAD all the time. Has pointed to allegedly anti-trans comments from Owens, including calling the trans equality movement evil and satanic. I actually agree with that. It is evil and it is satanic. It's not good. She has also claimed white supremacy and white nationalism is not a problem that is harming Black America. Because it ain't. Like, you think that it is? You're the problem if you think that it is. Like, far out. Anyway, Owens' Australian tour has been opposed by some local Jewish groups, while the opposition Home Affairs spokesperson James Patterson called her a dangerous anti-Semite and a conspiracy theorist during a Sky News interview. Burke told 9 newspapers in August that he had asked his department for a brief on her visit and consulted the federal anti-Semitism envoy, Gillian Siegel. 9 first reported on Sunday that Owens would not be allowed to enter Australia. Burke's office confirmed the visa had been denied. Guardian Australia contacted Owens' management and the local tour promoters, Roxman, for comment. Oh, by the way, Jordan Peterson has been denied entry into our country as well. So what does that tell you? So not just Candace Owens, but Jordan Peterson. Dr. Jordan Peterson has been denied entry into this country. The least controversial... Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? I'll probably get in trouble for saying it, but he is highly controversial according to left-leaning people. He, in fact, is a giant bigot. Like, if we're going by the definition that the Cambridge Dictionary gave us, then everybody is a bigot. You got to get used to it. Everyone's got these unreasonable viewpoints. Let's just say that. I've got them. You've got them. Everyone's got them. So what are you going to do about it? Grow the hell up, become an adult, and realize that, you know, you have the capacity to look at certain pieces of information and decide whether or not you agree with it or you disagree with it, and use a little bit of critical thinking. But of course, universities are not teaching that nowadays. Anyway, look, I'm sorry that Candace isn't able to come to Australia and share her own bigotry views and opinions, but I think it's just absurd how you've got a massive contradiction on your plate with the amount of illegal immigrants you're letting into the country. Like, it's nuts. But anyway, I will say no more. You guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.